Right here, folks, is the most detailed custom diecast I have ever made. Not only does it have a fabric window net, seat belts, even has dirt all over the race car. Here is William Byron's NASCAR Diecast Cup Series Talladega, raced winning, UniFirst Chevrolet Camaro. Howdy, folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again, and let me tell you, I have a race-winning 164 custom diecast, and I tell you what, this is the most detailed custom diecast I have ever done. Holy cow, man, this thing is detailed. Oh my goodness, man. So if you're unaware, my diecast series on the channel, which is NASCAR Diecast Cup Series, it's unlike any diecast series out there. It's not a stop motion. It's not like any other push series stuff where they go down a hill. You know, that's cool. No, we do an entirely different form of racing. I build tracks, we push the cars along, and it's unscripted, unpredictable NASCAR diecast racing. And I tell you what, man, this car kind of has a funny story to it. And I could not believe that this car actually won Talladega. If, at the time of this video, of course, William Byron won Pocono, and now he's won Talladega. He's won back-to-back races, his third NASCAR Diecast Cup Series win, and I've yet to make a custom diecast of his Diecast Cup wins. This is a paint scheme that I personally was not a fan of. I was not a fan of this paint scheme. I didn't pick it up when it originally came out. Sure enough, Plan B Sales had it on sale for Black Friday. I picked it up, $5, right? Sure enough, I was like, you know what? I'm going to enter it into a Diecast Cup race. It wins the freaking race. I didn't even expect it to run good. I said, screw it. Let's just run an alternate paint scheme. The dude freaking wins the race. So this is what the box has. You got the Bojangles 500, which is the race sponsor, right? Bojangles 500, Talladega Super Speedway race winning car. NASCAR Diecast Cup Series. That's the series, you know, logo and sponsor. You have it right there over the barcode. Also, I did, you know, a while back, I did this one right here. You've probably seen the video. If you haven't, I'll have a link down in the description for it. The NASCAR Diecast Cup Series Chicagoland New York Sports Show 400 race win car. Big problem with this one, I didn't clear coat the decals, and you can see how that one's a little wonky jaw. These decals weren't clear coated. I went back and clear coated those. Well, since I literally just built this car today, I went ahead and clear coated. Sure, it's not smooth, but the thing is, it protects it. It protects it from being destroyed. That's the thing. These decals are peeling off before, so it protects them, and it allows me to handle the box too. So you got NASCAR Diecast Cup Series. You got Talladega right there. Covered up the NASCAR logo with it, so you kind of had the NASCAR bars, so to speak, and you have Talladega right there. And this is where the cool stuff is. So, unfortunately, I didn't get the big enough logo to cover this, but it's still kind of like a funny little parody. That's where the action logo is, so I put the DB logo there for Diecastbuffet. This is still a little tacky right here. It's still drying a little bit. But you got Bojangles 500, name of the race sponsor. Winner, Talladega Super Speedway, March 15th, 2020. Third NASCAR Diecast Cup Series win. As I mentioned, William Byron's won 3 races in the Diecast Cup. He won Charlotte in Season 1. I didn't make a diecast of that. He won Pocono this season in Season 2. Didn't make a diecast of that. Also, we have the Bojangles logo right here. But this is his third Diecast Cup win. I thought it was a really cool thing to do. You know, it's Talladega. I wanted to make a race to win diecast, and I went all out for it. Alrighty, folks, so I'm going to be doing this review a little bit different, right? I'm going to be kind of doing it kind of like good old Mr. Robbie Noonan and how he does his reviews, because this car is weathered. Got, you know, confetti. It's got stuff on it that can come off. I did clear coat. I used a hard acrylic clear coat, so it will preserve this diecast, but I was not a fan of this paint scheme. I didn't pick it up. It was one of the first releases for 2019. They had it on the Black Friday sale. I picked it up because I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a review on it. Sure enough, I reviewed the diecast. I was like, you know what? I want William Byron to run an alternate paint scheme. I have this car. I haven't ran it yet. Let's run it. He freaking wins the race in it. So I said, look, this thing deserves a custom. I haven't made a William Byron custom. He is tied for the most NASCAR Diecast Cup Series wins. You might be thinking, Diecastbuffet, why does this car have freaking dirt on it? And the answer is really simple, guys. The answer is really simple. My philosophy for this race to win diecast was this was a race that was ran on Sunday, which it was, but my thinking for this was the night before the race, it had a lot of rain. The infield got very, very, muddy and all that stuff. And that's why you see all this dirt and stuff. So the infield was soaked, right? Well, William Byron, winning Talladega on a last-minute pass when he passed, of course, Austin Dillon, which was trying to get his first Duralast Cup win. Go on the infield, do some burnouts. That's why there's like so much dirt on this car. You even see some mud splashed back here. I'm not used to doing reviews like this, I might add. But I just wanted to kind of just show the detail I put on this car. So you can clearly see on the front of it, there was a tremendous amount of dirt. And my thinking was he went, of course, in the grass with the splitter and all that. I tried to get as much of that dirt I could to cake up on the splitter here, which is very hard to do. I tried to get it as best effect as possible. It kind of looks kind of milky if you notice, and I think that even looks better because it makes it look like mud. And I think that looks really good. It makes it look like mud, so it looks like the car went through a muddy infield doing the burnout. And one thing I really wanted to do with this car is I wanted to do a clean custom. Not clean as in like cosmetics, but like body damage. The only damage this car has, literally, the only damage this thing has is a few side scrapes. That's it. We'll scrape right here. And there's a little scrape around the fender well. That's it. Everything else is all dirt and grime from Talladega. Also, I went very light on the confetti. I figured since I usually do a lot of confetti on these race to wins, I was going to do a very light one to kind of get some, a variety going on, right? Not to mention, some race win diecasts don't even have confetti, right? Some tracks just don't do it. So with this one, I didn't want to do that. Board, it's got, I don't know if you could see it or not, but the dashboard does have some detail. There's some paint right there where my top finger is. There's some paint there. The steering wheel, trying to turn it a little bit. The shifter knob in there is painted, and you can see how the side of the cockpit is painted, but the middle of the steering wheel also is painted as well. So once again, it might be very hard to see. It's, we're talking about 164 scale here. We're not talking about 124 scale. But man, I tell you, that was a trick to do, but I'm just unbelievably proud of it. And oh, did I mention already that, check this out. So you see this little net right here? See that little spot right there? That's actually material as well. That's something I've noticed no one do on the 164s is put a net right there. That's actually material. So usually when that's like plastic on a diecast, no, that's material, and this is material. I could have took this material and I could have made a legit window net out of it. But I wanted to make sure that we added the most detail we could, so I even put the net right here. It has a gap there. It's not connected like it is in the real race car, so they can hand things through. They can stick their hand out the car. And, of course, I cut this. I even cut a little shape there as well. It's kind of hard to see with the black 24, but there is a kind of a slope cut out of it. You could probably see it better now to kind of go around where the shape of the window is. But you could just see all the dirt and splashes and mud. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to capture the idea of mud splashing. You go through the infield, you got low spots, you got high spots. You go in there, you got mud splashing on the car, doing burnouts, got the net down, fist pumping. That's what I wanted to shoot for. But you could see right here, all that right there. That's all like a mud splash effect. And I tell you what, I think it looks way better than I expected, man. I was really proud of that. You can just see also on the tire as well, you can just see kind of like a dusty dirt effect. I wanted to get that because, after you go out of the dirt, you drive around the track to pit road and all that stuff splashing on the car, some of it's going to get washed off, and that's kind of why the windows are so foggy as well. And you go over here to the back end of the car, and the back end of the car is really clean. It really is. I added a little bit of some like dust effect to the bottom. You can see the gas tank painted as well. And I'll go ahead and lift up the car so you can see that. You can see underneath the car right now, and you can just see how much dirt and just grime. I even put some dirt on the exhaust, mud splashing up, but the whole bottom of the car kind of has like a dusty effect. But I did paint everything on the bottom, right? I painted exhaust, I painted the drivetrain. You can also see on the back end of the race car, there's a little bit of confetti on the deck lid. They didn't have a deck lid sponsor. But it's faintly clean. That's what I really wanted to go for, A lot of people I've noticed when they make these custom die casts, and I don't want to be that guy, but what I will say is they don't make them different. And that's what's really needed. When you make a custom race to win, I would believe you need to make every car have character, have a story, If it's a field mileage win, it might not have dirt and grime on the back of the car. It might just have confetti because it didn't have fuel to do a burnout. In this case, you know, it's a Talladega race to win. It was a pretty clean race car damage-wise, but it went to victory lane. And over here to the left side of the Camaro, you can just see, you know, the mud splashing. You know, you can tell, like, there's little small spots where the mud is really potent, but you can also see kind of like a transition fade, like it was a whole lot of it, and it kind of just ran down the car as you drove away, you know, with high speeds. One thing that I never see anyone do on race to win diecasts is add this, that little panel down there. If you notice almost any race to win diecast for the 1/64 scale, they always have a little panel cut out there. That's all just black. It's where the, you know, the exhaust pipes and all that jazz is. That's what I made sure I did on this custom. That's all hand painted too. I had to mask it and I painted that. But there's just a lot of like dirt on this car, man. I love that. You know, it's not like overbearing. You know, like some cars I've seen. You know, like this one here. I love this car. It's one of my favorite ones. But there's a lot of dirt on it. I wish I would have put a little less. But I just really like the way this one looks. It's just a little confetti, a little dirt. You know, it has character. And I love the window net, man. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I was never able to. But sure enough, freaking cutting a hole in your shorts and putting on the race car actually freaking worked. That's some southern ingenuity as a Texas native. Also, here's kind of a look at the roof here. You can see just a little bit, you know, you can see like a little bit of dirt and grime. There's a little bit of a spot where the little cardboard cutouts they use in Victory Lane where it would go. There's a little bit of an empty spot there, so they could put that on the race car. But, you know, you could just see it's a very, very faint confetti job. There's not a lot on it, and that's what I like. The character of the car dictates the condition, right? It's not just always confetti. I tell you, man, this is, for a moderately clean custom, I tell you what, man, this is easily one of my favorite builds, and I'm excited to use these window nets in the future. I'm not kidding when I say I literally just cut a hole in my freaking shorts, and I freaking put it on the race car. I couldn't believe it. You know, that's the thing about me, is I'm willing to do whatever it takes, you know. And that's some redneck ingenuity, as a lot of people would say. You know, as a Texas native, I have the right to say that. I've been told a lot of people say my voice sounds very southern. I've had people tell me it sounds New Jersey, and I don't know. Like, I really don't know. What is it? More Texan? More upstate New York? Whatever. Man, I tell you, man, I love this freaking diecast. Thank y'all so much for watching the video, guys. Let me know what y'all think about this custom race winning car. Also, if you haven't checked out the race that this car won, guess what? Go ahead and check it out down in the description below. The NASCAR Duralast Cup Series Bojangles 500. I'll have a link to that down below. William Byron won that race. We still got 4 more races to go, guys. We got, what, Texas, we got Bristol, Charlotte, and Homestead, and then we'll be crowning our Season 2 champion. I will be doing a championship car. For whoever wins, I'll do a championship car. I don't know if I'll do a race to win for the other ones, though. I don't know yet. I still have to make the Kyle Larson race to win right here. I hope to get to that very soon. That's for Richmond. The throwback race. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Diecastbuffet. I know this review is a little bit different. Very similar to Race Day 2011, but you kind of need to when you make these detailed paint schemes. They are fragile, man. They really are. All the little added effects to it, it can come off the car. Diecastbuffet, signing off.